everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so thankful to have you guys here, and I wanted to say happy Vlogmas. It's Vlogmas day 3, and today I'm doing something a little different. I've never done a how-to video before where, I'm annotating or anything like that, so this is a new experience for me, so I'd love any feedback you could give. Today's video is going to be on squatting with flat feet, and flat feet is something that I've had since I was really little. I don't think you just develop flat feet. I mean, don't quote me on that. Maybe some people do, maybe some people don't, but for as long as I can remember, flat feet is something that I've struggled with when it comes to dance, figure skating, snowboarding, squatting, anything that involves a specific kind of shoe or whatever for that sport. It's always been a struggle for me. It's something that is sometimes really painful, sometimes it ruins my form, and squatting is one of the main things that I've noticed needed tweaking up. And especially since I started getting to powerlifting, it's even more crucial that I pay attention to my form and technique. So little cues with, my knees, my feet. I also have hyperextended knees and hyperextended elbows. So that's a whole other topic that I'll talk about later. Today we're gonna be focusing strictly on flat feet and ankle mobility. The first time I ever started squatting was end of 2013, and so I've been squatting wrong for about 3-4 years of my life. I just learned how to fix them this April, May. The reason why I knew I had a problem was that I was actually squatting and testing my PRs with a few of my friends. For those of you who don't know what PR is, it's your personal record. It's basically how heavy you can squat for 1 rep or 2 reps or whatever. So I was squatting with 2 friends, and they were helping me with my form, with hitting a new PR. And this is what made me do all the research on it. He kept looking at my form and couldn't figure out what was wrong because my knees kept on caving in. And the number one rule for me when I squat is always push your knees out. Your knees are going out, they're not going forward. So in my mind when I was squatting, I kept pushing it out and it just wouldn't go out. We couldn't figure out why. And I was also squatting in Nike Frees, but they're really nice shoes, but they're not meant for squatting because there's so much cushion there. When we finished off the session, after just analyzing my squats, he basically came to the conclusion, maybe your body is just not meant for squats. And I remember looking at him and my heart sinking, and I was like, how is a body just not meant for squats? And I love squats. In my mind, I was like, oh my god, does that mean I can't ever squat again? If I keep squatting, am I gonna injure myself? Am I not gonna live a long life? So all these thoughts kept going in my head, and I was like, no, I need to do something about this. So I went home and I kept researching about why I just couldn't squat. And I realized that why I wasn't squatting properly was because I have flat feet. And so with this video, I'm gonna go through what happens when you do squat with flat feet and then how to fix it. So for people with flat feet, and actually I find that a lot of Asian people have flat feet because a lot of my Asian friends, most of them have flat feet. And when I did a poll on Instagram, majority of people don't have flat feet, but there is a large number of people who do. So people with flat feet, what we lack is that arch in the foot. The number one thing to keep in mind when you're squatting with flat feet is that we are lacking that arch, and that arch is crucial for squatting properly. So we'll dive into this video.
We gotta stand up for something. Gotta stand up for something.
The feet set the foundation for every single function and movement we perform. So think about your feet like a house of cards. They set the groundwork for the stability of your entire structure. So if you want to squat with good technique, you have to pay attention to what's going on at the feet. We're gonna start off this video by squatting in Nikes. Like I said earlier, Nikes are beautiful shoes. However, they are horrible for squats. And it's not just Nikes, it's any classic running shoe. Experts have claimed that squatting with the soft compressible sole of these shoes is basically like trying to lift while standing on a giant marshmallow. So you have zero support. If you have flat feet, chances are you have excessive pronation, which is where your ankles are rolling in towards your body and the weight is on the inside edge of the sole. Our goal is to fix this arch by putting it into normal foot position where the weight is evenly distributed. The problem with flat feet is that if we don't create this arch, our ankle actually rolls in, as you see in this photo. So this is how I used to squat. As you'll notice, my knees cave in because my ankles are actually pronated and rotating inwards. This was before I realized that I needed to create an arch so that I could fix my knee caving in problem. So the question is, if we have flat feet and lack this arch, how do we fix our squats? The first thing I want you guys to do is forget the shoes. If you have flat feet, try squatting without shoes for your next squat session. So as I mentioned previously, with flat feet, your ankles are pronated, which means that your ankles are rolled inwards. The video on the right is where I try to fix this by rolling my ankles outwards so that I can build this arch. One thing that really helped for me was lifting my toes up. This allowed me to put all my weight into my heels because previously I would tilt forward and it made my squats very uneven. Some people might find this really scary, so another option is to tuck your toes underneath. And if you guys look in the video on the right, once I build this arch, it automatically forces my knees to go outwards. So here's a side view. If you look at the video on the right, you'll notice that my ankle just looks so much more supported. The next couple of clips are just comparison videos so that you can see what the ankle looks like with no arch and then what it looks like when you build the arch. And you can see the stability, and I promise you, you're gonna notice a significant difference in your squats if you do have flat feet and make these adjustments. If you have flat feet and you feel like you're not really engaging your glutes when you squat or really not able to engage them, or if you have soreness in your knees, I would suggest incorporating these minor adjustments into the next couple of squat sessions and see how it goes.
Well, that concludes the end of this video. I hope it was beneficial, and even if you don't have flat feet, I know as someone with flat feet, a lot of the people that I do train with don't have flat feet, and it would have been nice if somebody knew what was going on with my feet before it took me a really long time to kind of do the research and fix it on my own. If you have any friends that have flat feet and you train with them, you could always be like, oh my god, I know how to fix them, because it's gonna change the way that they train. And I promise you, because my squats have never felt better. It's such an amazing feeling when you're like, oh my god, I know how to squat. Because people tell you to push your knees out and then you try and it never works, and you realize, damn, it's because I don't have an arch. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to keep up with my Vlogmas videos, don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate you. You matter, and I can't wait to see you guys soon. Bye.